and welcome back to my channel. I'm Bethany from Naughty Girl Crochet. Welcome if you're new here. Please hit subscribe. Don't forget to like this video. It's going to be a little bit different from the other few videos that are on the channel so far. So this isn't going to be a what I'm working on or anything like that. This is going to be going over all of the different socks I've knit so far to try and help give you guys some inspiration for summer sock camp. Now, if you haven't heard of Summer Sock Camp, it's being hosted by the Crazy Sock Lady. I'll leave the link down below to the Ravelry page where you can find all of the information. Basically, all summer long, you can submit a photo of every finished pair of socks that you make into different categories, and for every pair that you finish, you can be entered to win lots of cool prizes. So, I'm filming this video a little bit differently than my last few, so I've been having some issues with the white balance, and I figured out on my camera you can turn off the auto white balance, but only if you're filming through like the back camera, so I can't see myself right now. So I have no idea if I'm in frame or anything, so let's hope this at least gives better video quality than the last few videos because they were a little bit patchy, but it is a little bit weird talking to the back of my phone because I can't see myself. Yeah, it's a little bit weird. I need to figure out some way to be able to see, at least to make sure that these socks are in focused. We'll be back. I've rigged the weirdest setup. I now have my iPad behind, kind of at an angle, so I can at least see a little bit of my camera screen. But yeah, let's get started, I guess. So I just started knitting socks this past November, I think it was, and I did start with a vanilla sock pattern by the Crazy Sock Lady. I started with her pattern for knitting on 9-inch circulars. So this is the first sock. You know what, I need to turn this camera around, sorry. It means the lighting's gonna be patchy, but I can't see a darn thing. Alright, we're back. And I decided to take my glasses off because I decided to try and have the ring light in the background to see if that would help. And if I have my glasses, it just looks like I have two giant rings. And this is going to be a pretty quick video. So, let's back to the socks. So the first pair of socks I ever knit were the vanilla socks on 9-inch circulars by the Crazy Sock Lady. And this is, just a very traditional sock, traditional ribbing, heel flap and gusset. And I used some yarn that I dyed myself. I dabble in dyeing. I don't do a ton of it. I mostly do oak skeins or very small batches. I'll leave the link to my shop down below if you're looking for some unique sock yarn to make yourself, an interesting pair of socks. But yeah. This was my first pair, and then after that I moved on to just some Shortie socks that were by Summerlee Designs. Summerlee socks, I'm not quite sure which year. I think she goes by both, I think. I'm not quite sure. If you knit socks, you've probably knit one of her patterns or seen them. So again, just a very basic sock with a basic heel flap and gusset, just, Shortie style. I also knit by Woolfields, some just basic DK Shortie socks. Again, this is some yarn that I dyed myself. It actually was a skein that I dyed, and I did like the way it turned out, so I over dyed it. So yeah. Just some basic Shorties again, but DK weight. And I'll leave the link to all of these patterns in the description box below. Then I did a couple tests for a maker called Perfectly Knotted. So one of the ones I did for her, you haven't been able to tell already, I like shorty socks more so than like full length socks. So I tested her towing the line socks. So they just have a little bit of detail on the cuff and then on the toes. This is a great way to use up just a smidge of scrap yarn. And the brown was by a dyer called Celtic Raven Fibers. The main color is one of my colorways. It was one of the only ones so far I've been able to replicate. So there's a couple of these in the shop if you like this kind of pinkish white red. It was called Be Mine for Valentine's Day. And then I knit another pair of shorty socks for Perfectly Knotted, test knitted. These were her Sporty Shorty socks. And so again, this is that same brown yarn. So this was chocolate and cranberry, both by Celtic Raven Fibers. And so these are a cute sock, shorty sock with a little detail there. And my favorite part of this is they have kind of like, I don't know if you can see, kind of like arch support built in. And it's really cool because it just kind of hugs your foot a little bit right in the arch. So it makes them fit really nicely. I really like these. I want to make another pair at some point. Then I designed my first pair of socks. So these are my soft serve socks. The pattern is available on Ravelry, Etsy, and Payhip. Again, I'll leave all the links down below. So these were kind of a step up from your basic sock. So obviously some color work. Again, using that chocolate by Celtic Raven Fibers and then the Be Mine colorway by me. It's a shorty sock. It's not too short, but I'd say it's smidge above ankle sock length. But what I did is I couldn't decide between if I wanted a textured sock or a colorwork sock, so I kind of did both. So there's a patch of some texture on the back of the heel, and then obviously the rest is just your pretty standard sock. Yeah, I really like these. They're fun to knit. Yeah, and then I test knit another pair of socks for Perfectly Knotted. Clearly I like test knitting socks for Perfectly Knotted. These are her Princess Soul socks, and so these are a little bit different in that you can tell the bottom it's what's called a Princess Soul. So it's actually you purl so that the inside is what would traditionally be your knit stitch, and your purl stitch is on the outside, and it gives like some cushion to the bottom of your foot. So yeah, these were a fun knit, and these are a fade. So I used two similar colors. I again dyed both of these myself. And so it's kind of like a lighter yellowish that fades into this multicolor. I think that's it for my test knits for Perfectly Knotted. And then I decided so far all of the socks have been your traditional heel flap and gusset, and I wanted to try and do an afterthought heel or a peasant heel. So there's no pattern for these. This is just, I knit a basic sock, and then I just put in the what's it called? Like the safety line or whatever, that you then pick up around and then pull out to knit your afterthought heel. It was pretty easy. It was easier than I thought. So for these, I used the main color was in a kind of summer surprise box by, I think her name was Lady Dye Yarns, and then the cuffs, heels, and toes are some little row 1 minis. So I kind of made these matching, but not really, so they're kind of opposite. So this cuff, heel, toe, and cuff, heel, toe, which I thought was cute. Then I designed my second pair of socks. these are called the Sundrop socks. Now, I washed all of these last night. I have a gray cat, so it just, this black yarn has so much gray attached to it now, even though I just washed them. So again, these are available, or this pattern is available on Ravelry, Etsy, and Payhip. So it is a little bit a step up from my previous pair. It's a little bit more intricate color work, but then just, you know, a pretty basic heel flap, you know, cuff and toe. So the colored yarn I dyed myself on some Knit Picks Stroll, and then the black is just their Knit Picks palette yarn. I wanted to design a pair of socks that was made, you know, out of budget-friendly yarn. So it's, as you've seen, a lot of the other socks I've knit are indie dyed, whether by others or by me, and I really wanted to, you know, make a budget-friendly sock. So yeah, I like these. You should definitely go check out some of my testers' photos. They chose some really pretty colors. One person did kind of like almost like a denim-y gray for the main and then a light blue for the contrast. It was really, really nice. And finally, the last pair of socks I have to show you. These are another pattern by me. They're going to be a free pattern on my blog, which I'll leave a link to down below. They're currently in testing. So these are called the Ski Bunny socks. So they have a pretty traditional cuff and toe. The heel's a little bit different. It's a stockinette heel. So yeah, they're a little bit different. They're bright. There's some, you know, pearls and knit stretches in the ankle. I wrote the pattern in such a way, if you want to make them all one color you can, but I also sort of pointed out where I did my color changes in case you wanted to make a scrappy pair like I did. Again, this is predominantly, the peach is by Lady Dye Yarns, and then the little colorful stripes are from Row 1 Minis. So yeah, these are currently out to testers. Keep an eye out for when the free pattern will drop on my blog. That's about it. I do have one other pair of socks on my needles right now, but I forgot to grab them. I'm just working on the little box socks by Summerlee Designs. And those are going to be my first pair of socks for summer sock camp. They're taking me a little bit longer than normal just because they're pretty heavy color work. But yeah, I'm obsessed with knitting socks. If you're obsessed with knitting socks, definitely go and check out the summer sock camp. If you're going to be knitting socks throughout the summer, you may as well enter them to win some prizes. And I hope this video gives you some inspiration, gives you some ideas of different patterns to check out, different makers. I'll leave the link to everyone's, you know, patterns and stuff down below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoy knitting socks, drop your favorite sock pattern down below. I'd love to see it. I'm always looking for new socks to try. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll leave all of my socials down below. You can go give me a follow for more regular updates. And I hope you liked this video. Have a great day and happy sock knitting.